Hello, my very dear Aquarians. This is your reading for the week of January 19th, or when you hear it and it resonates. So, Aquarius, this is where I feel it's time for me to remind you that you're an air sign. And as soon as I started working with your cards, I was reminded of Ayurveda. And Ayurveda, as you may know, is the ancient East Indian spiritual tradition that is actually called the science of life. So it's a spiritual tradition, but it's a medical tradition because within that culture at that time, certainly, it was just understood that mind, body, and soul all went together and all affected each other. So healing and spirituality and psychology, it was all put together in the same boat because everything is interrelated. Now, we know this now. We know this from having studied the ancient texts. We also know this now because science is supporting this. So what's the relevance to you, Aquarius? The relevance is you are an air sign. So what we'd like you to look at, my dears, is where you have had emotions that have weighed you down in a way that an air sign is not meant to be weighed down. Okay? Where are your thoughts? Where are your feelings? Where are your emotions that have narrowed your perspective on life and on who you are in life? And the reason that that's been able to happen to you is because you found a way, many of you, of course, this will not be for every Aquarius, right? Many of you have found a channel for the qualities that you value about yourself. And they can seem like they're far-reaching qualities, that they are expansive, that they're spiritual, that they're noble, that they're all sorts of things that the universe would want to support you in doing. However, the catch is, if your vision of that expansion is limited by these two walls, if it is narrow enough that you don't see beyond that, it's difficult for you to see and pay attention to where else your energy would like to go. Now, this can certainly play out in physical ways, of course, absolutely. It can play out in psychological patterns that don't get questioned or challenged. And they can definitely come into play, Aquarius, when you find yourself starting to reach the end of what that trajectory is. And I'm sorry, I just got distracted because something just came in on my phone. This is where you can start finding yourself panicking a little bit. Because if you see this trajectory, even though it's been good, you see it coming to an end, or even sometimes you just feel it. Do you ever feel like that? I remember walking into a job once going, oh my God, I don't fit this place anymore. I've outgrown this, right? So sometimes it will be a subtle feeling that things, the way things have been, are changing and they're not going to be able to stay the way they were. And that can create, so when we've only been focused on a trajectory like this and we've not allowed ourselves to see really the periphery, it's hard to imagine where else we might go. So this is your opportunity, Aquarius, to really sit down and look at this and say, where have I not taken care of myself? Because that's the first card that comes up for you, is the kind of discipline that is about making sure your choices and your behavior are aligned with taking care of you first. And that's a biggie for you guys. That's a fit. Guys, people, for you people, it's a biggie. So you're being asked to, okay, so what was your role in whatever it was that got you to this point? What was your role? If you're finding yourself stuck or coming to the end of something, or having kind of crashed and burnt a little bit around something, you're really being asked to look at, where was your role in that? And how did your lack of really taking care of yourself first be the thing that helped perpetuate this situation or help create this situation that you're in now? Now, you're also being told, please have compassion for yourself, okay? So compassion, it's like, get curious about it. Get curious about wondering what your role was. And what they wanted me to tell you at the very beginning as I was starting to work with the cards before they even came out was that it's important for you right now to understand that the changes you're going through are very much about you being able to expand in such a way so that you're no longer operating from a one-pointed view. It's very much so that you can open up and really let your air flow, because what happens when you develop these constricted ways of thinking is it really pulls your energy in. And as it pulls your energy in, oh, thank you, as it pulls your energy in, you're going to get guidance. Of course, you are going to be getting guidance from Spirit. Whether you're aware of it or not, you are getting guidance from Spirit. And what Spirit will do is, if you decide you're going to work in a funnel this big, they're going to give you information and support in this funnel. When you start saying, I want more, even if you don't know what more is, what that does now is it opens your higher conscious mind and your connection to Spirit to give you more information about where you can go and what you can do. But what they're saying is, can you please be compassionate, be curious, because this is something else they wanted to say is, when you can be curious about something, that's when you can step back and detach a little bit from it so that you're not taking it personally in a way where you want to criticize yourselves. You can criticize yourselves. We can all criticize ourselves, but you can really talk meanly to yourself sometimes. You're being asked, please have compassion for that you that created whatever it was that's no longer working. And allow yourself to really take this as an opportunity to say, all right, thank you so much. Where is my mind-body integration here in this? So if you're having a situation and you are, let me be more specific, please. Okay, so if you have a chronic illness, for example, let's just say a bad back, and it's all located in your lumbar region. What chakra does that connect to? What emotion does that connect to? Right? This is why they're talking about Ayurveda, because it is the understanding of the working through the chakras and the impact of the vibrational frequencies of the different chakras that support emotional and physical context. So what they're suggesting is, as you start getting curious and progressing, one of the templates that you can use to help you understand how it's playing out in your body, what your role might have been with. So for example, chronic lower back. Well, were you the complete financial supporter for your family with no emotional support from anybody else, feeling like, oh yes, whatever emotion comes up around that, okay, that makes sense because I overworked, I overstrained because I had a belief that blah, 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 blah. Is this true about me? Is this true about life? Yes, no. Okay, so it just becomes another point of reference where you can investigate, but you're being asked to investigate with compassion. Investigate this with the understanding that if your body is throwing something up to you to look at, it's not just the location, it's what's the energy that reverberates in that, and what does that connect to emotionally, okay? And this is a really, really fascinating thing to do, especially when you can engage in it with compassion. Now remember, Ayurveda, the science of life is what it translates to. This is all about living. This is all about what the ancients knew. We are here to learn and to grow, and we are integrated spiritual beings in physical bodies. Having emotional, psychological experiences is a way of growing. When it plays out on our body, which it will often do, when it goes unaddressed at a deeper emotional level, this is where now we go, okay, so it's become a point now. What are we going to do about it? Are we just going to let this hang on? Are we going to keep going downhill in this particular area? Am I going to let my back just continue to get worse and worse? Or am I going to address the issue? Am I going to look at it? Now, it may not be deep diving emotionally. It may just be looking at what are the habits, what are the discipline habits that you can apply now that's going to help your back. And then as you help your back, if there are emotional elements that need to come up, they will come up. Sometimes, however, it has been suggested by many of my teachers who I hold in high esteem that very often, even though the mind has changed and is no longer operating on the old energy patterns or the old psychological loops, there can be places in our body where the energy has been held and congested for so long that needs to be addressed. Okay. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're still carrying the emotional pattern, but that you carried it long enough that it actively affected well, let's just say the organics of the situation. Okay. So these are all good things to look at. If something's coming up and it feels like a crisis, definitely take it seriously, deal with it, and also understand that there is information for you there about yourself. So hold yourself with compassion. Hold yourself with compassion, please. And give your sense of taking care of yourself another layer of depth. So it's not just eating the food that you like, it's eating the food that's good for you. Happily eating the good that's food for you, or at least neutrally eating the good that's food that's good for you. If it is doing some kind of spiritual meditation, some kind of regulation of the nervous system, some kind of deliberate self-awareness activity, any of those things are things that you can use now as a way to explore whatever has come up for you, right? So I'm going to leave you with that, Aquarius, because I'm not sure if I went back and listened to last week, which I don't usually do, excuse me, I feel like there might be a connection here, and that is this is time for you now to address the areas where you have not been in alignment with the energy that you now wish to be in alignment with, or that you've been moving more and more into alignment with. Your higher self, your self-love, the essential nature of you as love. Okay, so this is a good thing because we need to clear up what's not working on the earth plane for us as we can, gradually moving forward, because this is the process of self-expansion. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that, Aquarius, but I have to add one more thing. It's not just about self-expansion. It's more than that, though. It is managing your energy in a way where you are going to be able to more completely serve the joy in you in a way where it presents itself to other people. And that's the last thing they wanted to say. So it's all good. Take care, Aquarius.